Hello everybody, this is the weirdest little start of the stream I've ever done, with no face cam for a change. Hello Welshie, I see you in the chat. This seems really odd, not having the face cam for a change. Everything's turned on so I can have the face cam, we can look at websites, we can practically do anything you want, other than leave this room I guess, is the only thing we can't do. Hey. Maybe a bit too dramatic intro, but yeah, it's been a while since I live streamed, so I spent the day setting up. Biohazard King is here, Little Welshie's here. But yes, let's see. This is literally just me messing about, chilling out, because the current situation in the world is, well, everybody knows what the current situation is. It's a bit crap, shall we say. Also, is the audio okay? You can hear the rain in the background. Is a nice little chilling out thing to have. I thought was nice to have. But yeah, with what's going on in the world, I thought, why not have an online coffee shop, as it were? I don't drink coffee, I drink tea, but it's what it does. So I'm literally going to look up gaming news. I know the PS5, I know you said 4 come out then. PS5's come out, sounds good, thank you. PS5 and Xbox, what's the Xbox called? I actually don't know. Xbox, I don't know if I like them. Microsoft Xbox One X, that doesn't exactly roll off the tongue, does it? Xbox One X versus the PlayStation 5, I guess it's called. I had a P, and of course the P on my keyboard doesn't work, so I can't actually look up PlayStation. Yeah, so the PlayStation is how much? It's $499, isn't it? Let's start with the Xbox then. It says it's 4K gaming. Is it really going to be 4K gaming, or is it going to be upscaled? Is my real question. X or S? Oh yeah, because you got the standard one and then the non-standard one. I do like the fact that Xbox are doing £28, this is all sterling, £28.99 a month for it. So if you can't afford the lump sum, you can effectively have it on finance. Is that the right terminology? It's like how cars are. You can have cars on finance. Don't believe PlayStation is doing anything like that. Are they? Is Sony doing that or not? Sony's new PlayStation. I'm not. Yep, I can't. PS5 release date. Yeah. But it instantly sold out because they didn't do a very good release, I heard. But I may be wrong. But I'm not interested in either of them. Purely because I'm a PC gamer. So, yeah, games, PC is where I'm at. I used to have a PlayStation. I had a PS1, a PS2, and a PS3. And then... Oh, okay, so it's not directly through. That's interesting. So why is Microsoft not doing the finance themselves? They probably don't want the financial problems. Yeah, that's a question. How long do we think Microsoft is going to keep going? Because at some point, someone's going to come along and outdo them. They won't be around forever. No company is. I mean, you have companies like Kodak, but, well, they went... They filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy, and they went, and now they're back making vaccines for the current situation, which is a bit odd, but that's where the money is right now. It's all in the vaccines. Yeah. Yeah, especially speaking of stepping up their game. Yeah, the Nvidia's new graphics card is correct. All of this stuff can be corrected if I'm wrong. The new graphics card that Nvidia brought out, which is the 380, is twice as powerful as the previous generation, but the same price, or half the price. Nvidia. See, this would have been so much smoother if I'd actually researched some of this before I even started the stream. But That would be a smart thing to do, and I'm not smart. GPU. But yes, so we have the new consoles coming out, then the new graphics cards coming out. We had the i9 recently come out on the computers. Yeah, there's a lot of new news that's not... I can't say the C word because then YouTube would demonetize it. So the C word is the current world problem that we're all fully aware of, and why you're all staying at home and wearing masks. Because, yes, global travel and a virus is where we are right now. I hope you guys like the animated screen samurai in a field with glow bugs. Not greenfly, glow bugs. I don't know what they're called. And it's got the nice rain in the background. I can do that, or I can do... You can have me on full screen, which is a bit terrifying. Or that. I think that looks better than my ugly mug, for starters. The chat, I'm in a Discord with some very good friends of mine, and they will be popping it. Fireflies, that's the word I'm looking for. Thank you, fireflies. See, I always thought fireflies were actually fake and weren't a real thing. Are they real or are they fake? I'm now questioning that myself. But yes, I'm in a Discord with some very good friends of mine. They'll be jumping in and out potentially, which we'll see. It's all, again, this is the most relaxed stream I can possibly do. Nothing scripted, nothing planned. All I've got is a nice little... Don't make you jump. You are welcome to jump in. So yeah, it's the most relaxed, chilled out, nothing planned. Anything could happen in this stream. I could end up gaming, we could end up finishing early, we could end up going on for 6 hours. Anything. I am not ruling anything out really. So yeah, we shall see how this goes. Yeah, I do see a lot of people not social distancing, but there's going to be tons of subjects that are going to come up on this sort of stream that some people are going to like, some people are not going to like. That's life. That's part of life. Not everyone's going to get on. Yeah, people not social distancing. Some people I've seen are doing really well, and other people are just not. All you can do at the end of the day is do the best you can do, and you know you're doing your bit. I hate to say it. If people are going to ignore the rules, there's only so much you can do to try and get them to follow the rules. That is unfortunately the situation we're in. But yeah, this is going to be the most chilled out stream I can do. For me, waffling on about pretty much anything, I think is going to be the case. Today there was going to be another video out on Dishonored. It was going to be the Lady Boyle one, which is a cool level. It's a level where you have... Should I... spoilers? Well, not spoilers. Let's do a few spoilers. It's a Lady Boyle where there's 3 women dressed up in the same costume but different colours. I believe it's black, red and white. And you have to work out which one you got to kill. And I think it's one of the levels in the game that has the most NPCs in it. So I was thinking about doing it today as a game, as we jump into that game and see if I can kill everybody on that level. Because there's quite a few people on that level. There's also the tall boys on it that are giant monsters on legs. But we shall see. I'm not sure what else is going on in the world actually. I'll tell you what we should do. I shall go onto YouTube, and I shall go onto the trending tab, and I shall see what is trending on YouTube right now. We have a music video. What on earth is this? 2 music videos. Is this in order? Let's go to gaming, not normal ones. Mr. Beats Gaming is at number 1. The worst GTA 5 graphics. Yep, of course. The second one down. I hate something about Fortnite. On the second one, it's always something about Fortnite. CJ Versus has joined us. Again, everybody in the chat so far is a wonderful YouTuber. I may even check all your channels out on the stream. I shall see if I can do that. I want to make sure I get everybody if I do. CJ, you talking about the day drinking now though? He's just screaming, oh, surprise, buddy. Yes. Yes, if you want this background, I think I literally just googled animated background, I think it was. Let me check. Yeah, it was animated background. And this was one of them. There's a website that had thousands of them. And I wanted something very minimal. And I found this. So this is what we're going with. Screaming in the chat again. So trending, Minecraft's trending, of course it is. Something about winning $20,000, yeah. Yeah, they all look clickbaity. I wonder if I can do this. Hang on, if I do... There you go, now you can... Oh, you've lost the audio from the... You've lost the audio to the... What's it called? I can't think of the word. The rain. Reminds me of Jacksepticeye. No, I didn't steal it from Jacksepticeye. I just completely stole it from Jacksepticeye. Yes. That is literally where the idea for this entire stream come from as well. So, full credit to him. I just realised this cam is actually... It seems off-centre, but it's not. I feel like I'm not in the centre of the camera here. Is it just my bad posture, maybe? I think it is just my bad posture. But yeah, like this is the trending tab on YouTube now for gaming. I just mean... I'm not interested in any of this. I stole it, I'm not going to lie. But, like, I used to make things and sell things. Like, I learned a short while ago that there's 8 billion people on the planet, right? At some point, you're going to end up copying someone if you know it or not. So, like, you remember when people used to say, oh, so-and-so did this before you? I think it's now reached the point where it's like someone out there has done something exactly the same as you. But does it matter? So long as it's not like a direct rip copy, that they put their own spin on it, I'm fine with that. Like, if you want to go and take something I've done and duplicate it, feel free. If you can do it better than I can, go ahead. That is fine by me. Every time you guys scream in the chat, it comes up as spam, and I have to confirm it. Cheers for that. I want to add my own thing. But yeah, this is the trending tab of gaming. I mean, would you guys watch any of this? I don't think I would watch any of this. I mean, it's Fortnite, Minecraft. I used to watch tons of Minecraft, absolute tons. Also, how is this trending with 500,000 views? It just... The Imposter, yes, that's a big game, and I know a lot of you guys have played it as well. I need to get around to playing it myself. You can carry on doing it. It's just YouTube's crappy chat thing. I would be streaming on the other big streaming platform. I don't know if I can say it on here because of YouTube's terms and conditions. But yeah, I'm sticking to this because this is where most of my viewers are. Incoming, are you joining us in the voice chat, Chris? Maybe I shouldn't have said the name. Ash has made it. Oh god, everybody's here. Okay, I'm going back over to this one because I think it's more appropriate. You haven't got to look at me. I shall carry on looking for crap on the web. It is just all crappy thumbnails. There's a farming sim. Nope, that's not farming sim. It looks like farming sim, but it's not. That was a waste of time. So yes, we have Little Welshie, CJ, Biohazard King, Ash. I think I haven't missed anybody. Probably have. Apologies if I have.
Boo.
Oh god, here we go. Now, I don't know if they can hear you. Can they?
Yeah, I can.
They can.
I turn your stream back up. I can hear it myself.
Good, because I have no way of checking it. How are you, good sir?
I'm wonderful. How are you, Wolf?
I'm fine. The gentleman in the chat, just to clarify, is Biohazard King.
Yeah, I'm here.
He's here. I have no idea. Are you getting the PS5 or Xbox XS add a bunch of letters on the end? Okay, console or?
So originally I was thinking about getting the PS5 until the whole pre-order fiasco happened, and then they announced that Bethesda was bought out by Microsoft.
Oh yeah,
And
I
so
forgot about that.
Yeah, so I was like, And the Series S, which is the smaller version of the X, is $100 cheaper than the PS5.
What is the difference? Is the difference just not the hard drive, the disk drive?
Between the X and the S, yeah, pretty much. There's some technical stuff that is a little bit different, but when you're somebody that doesn't really care about 4K gaming and all that stuff, it's like, you really need 4K gaming to play games that are good.
I don't know anybody, and anybody in chat. I don't know anybody that games in 4K. 1080p, yeah, but 4K.
I was like, I don't even have a TV that supports 4K, so why do I care about 4K gaming?
I think once you get to 1080p, anything above that, are you really going to spot the difference? I think it's more about what your graphics card can do, like ray tracing and like the animation I'm currently showing now. Like, you can take that and add just more and more detail. The better, the better.
Yeah. And that's going to get better as it goes too.
Yeah. I mean, just go back 5 years, 10 years. The difference is astronomical.
Yeah.
I remember when RAM was like the thing to have, and now RAM is just, you can have, 64 bits in a standard computer now? Bits?
Mm-hmm.
Not bits, megabytes.
I knew what you were talking about.
Yeah. Bits, yeah. 62 bits of RAM. Good God.
People pulled up before, but now I can't find it. About the difference between the X and the S, because it wasn't like the CPU difference is like, instead of 3.6 gigahertz, the X is 3.8 gigahertz.
So it's only going to be. I think what's going to happen eventually is the line between console and PC is just going to become more and more blurred to the point where it's like, it's whatever games you want on that platform.
Yeah, and that was something that I was like back and forth on for a while. Do I get PS5? Do I go to Xbox? Do I go to PC? I know eventually everything's going to go to PC, but then there's exclusive games that maybe you want to play that are only on PlayStation or only on Xbox, And so it's like, it seems like with Microsoft, anything that's exclusive to Xbox will make its way to PC because it's one and the same. Whereas if it's exclusive to PlayStation, it's going to stay on PlayStation forever. You know what I mean?
Sin, I'm struggling to keep track of the conversation and read chat at the same time, so you have to forgive me if I miss anything in chat. But I just noticed that Sin put, you two have good voices for chilled stream. Now, earlier today he tweeted to me saying I was clever. Is someone paying him to say these things, or is he just drunk? I'm not quite sure which two of it is.
You are hands down one of the smartest people in the group. So smartest people I've met. So.
Right, either I'm drunk. I must be drunk then. Someone put something in my tea. I don't know what's going on today.
Oh, come on.
I know
everything. Go ahead.
I was going to say, everything I say needs citation needed put next to it, because it's just stuff I remember from watching on YouTube, basically.
Yeah, but it's still knowledge that we don't know.
Yeah, I know. Sin, I'm terrible at taking compliments. Terrible at that. I don't know how to.
I went over this with them the other day. It's like, we all do the same thing. We all compliment each other, but we don't know how to take a compliment.
No.
So when somebody's like, yeah, you're good at this, you're like, no, I'm not. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. Or it's like, no, you are. I'm not. It's like, you know what? We all feel the same way. Like, come on.
Yeah. That's a whole other subject we could go down to. But again, this stream is literally about anything we want to talk about. Apart from the C word, because we can't say what the current thing is going on in the world. Because for some reason, YouTube blocks that.
Well, I thought they changed the policy on that, but I'm not sure, so I'm not going to say it.
No, I'm not taking the risk. Just for the sake of everyone knows what we're talking about. If it's not affecting your life, congratulations, you're having a better life than 99% of the population of the world.
I mean, if you want to go down that rabbit hole, the U.S. just passed 7 million people infected. So,
Oh dear, goodness me. Yes, to clarify, Biohazard is in the United States. I'm in England.
yeah, unfortunately.
I've been to America a few times and I've thoroughly enjoyed it.
I mean, there's great people here, just like there's great
Yes.
people everywhere. But the stupid people far outweigh the great people. So it's like,
Yeah, there is that. Oh, hello, Clement Wolf. Very good friend of mine. It's all friends in
Hello.
the chat today. Yeah.
oh, the output resolution, by the way, for the X versus S is the X, which is the one with the disk tray and everything,
Mhm.
will output at 4K at 60 FPS, and
Now-
the S will only do 1440p at 60 FPS with upscaling.
I was just going to ask about upscaling. Because at that point, is it really 4K? Because correct me if I'm wrong, I believe upscaling is you take 1 pixel and you spread that 1 pixel out between 4. So say that pixel is blue, then you
Yeah.
suddenly have 4 blue pixels, which that works great for upscaling. But then is it really true 4K, or is that not just marketing words I can't say?
It's all marketing, though.
Yeah, okay.
100% it's all marketing.
But then the disc tray, do you need a disc tray? And then
I literally, personally, I don't use discs anymore anyway. I just go all digital now.
I mean, when I was specking out my new editing PC, it was like I didn't even question if I wanted a disc tray or not. I didn't even get asked the question when I rang them up. I didn't. Only now I'm thinking about it, if I'm honest. I've got a disc tray on this current computer, but this is a computer from 2012. So
Well, it's like, what's the point of a disc tray now?
I have some old games from like Windows 95, but saying that I can get them on Good Old Games, which is a great website, by the way.
But can't you literally just buy a USB disc tray for cheaper than you could have had one installed on your PC?
Yes, I was going to ask this. Does anybody in the chat know? Can you basically buy the Xbox or PlayStation with no disk drive and just plug in a USB disk drive? Would that work out cheaper, and would it work? Because at that point, there's no point buying the disc one for the extra money.
Well, so the biggest thing really is like PlayStation is not going to be backwards compatible. So there's literally no point for a disc drive for PS5. I can see it for Xbox.
I thought so. Xbox is backwards compatible. Again, everybody in the chat, you can correct us. Ashen. Oh, speaking of correction, Ashen has corrected me, I believe, on upscaling. Depends on how you do it. DLSS creates more pixels based on the data. Yeah, so it's fudging the numbers, I would say.
Yeah, it's still doing the same thing.
It's you could argue all day what it is. Where was I saying? Oh yeah, backwards compatibility. So
Yeah.
Xbox, the new Xbox, this is backwards compatibility for old games.
Correct. So they came out and said that anything that is compatible with the Xbox One will be compatible with the Series X. So any game that is on the backwards compatibility list, because they have to run an emulator to be able to run them on the Xbox.
So
It's weird, like the way they did it. I don't know why they did it this way, but when you put in a 360 game, if it's on the list of games that they have, it'll run an emulator inside the Xbox One.
So at that point,
Like,
you're basically running a PC, because you can do that on a PC. Run like Game Boy emulators and whatever you want.
correct.
And it's
But
odd.
they have a list of games, and the list is growing every day. Of games that they have worked into their emulator or whatever, to where you can play these games. Like there's original Xbox games that are on that list
So
that you can play.
it seems like they've definitely woken up to. There's a lot of people in certain age groups who want old games, but won't go and get, say, the original Xbox, or can't get it because they're going to get to the point when they're worth so much. Yeah, so they're basically going to kill off a large section of the market and take it for their own, which means at that point it could go one or two ways. They could end up with a really nice system where you pay, I don't know, 99p or cents per game, or they charge you monthly to play old games.
Yeah.
From a business point, they're going to rake in the money.
Well, so I know with Sin, right?
Mhm.
He is going to play some old 360 games, and they're all on the list. You literally don't have to pay anything. He has the game, so he just puts the game in the console, and it'll read it,
Oh.
and he can just play it. You don't pay anything extra for it.
Oh, so, yeah.
So like if you have the disc, you won't have to pay extra. You just But if I think if I remember correctly for Xbox, even if you don't have the disc, you can buy the game from them as well.
Reading chat for a second. CJ, 99% of PS4 game. Oh, chat's moved to them. Will work on the PS5. That's good. I'm wondering what the 1% is. It'll probably be something silly like games that companies are like, nope, we're not letting you put this onto a new console.
That or it's games that literally didn't sell very well.
Yeah, basically we sold 400 copies and no one's interested.
Yeah.
That's probably a legal thing as well. Yeah, Sin is saying he reckons it's a USB it would think of it as a I can't read today.
External disk drive rather than a reader.
I'm glad someone's here can read, unlike me. For those who aren't aware, like when I sent the stream out, I sent a message to these guys saying, "Is this spelled right?" And someone checked it for me. So, because I have done that before, I have misspelled the title of games and stuff, and been reminded halfway through the stream. So that was fun. Yeah, retro will never die. I'm trying to think of old games now that won't work anymore.
Yeah, that's a good list because I have no idea either.
I remember on really, really old computers there was a turbo button, one of these random facts, and it would adjust the clock speed of the processor. But to run old games, the games would run. The speed was determined by the clock speed. Yeah. So if you played it on a higher end PC at the time, it would run too fast. So you'd have to press the turbo button, which would actually slow the computer down to work. So the turbo button was actually a brake button. Just it's one of those weird things from like the 90s and 80s that was around. I do remember, I think it was Need for Speed, one of the Need for Speed games. The game's speed was locked to the frame rate. So if you went into the command console or whatever it was to alter the frame rate and made it 60 frames, everything would suddenly run at double speed. Like the cars, the steering, the lot. It was such a broken. Why you would lock it to the frame rate, I do not know. It just seems madness to me.
It just might have been something that they did as developers at the time because they were like, oh, I don't know if this will work or whatever. And
Asher makes a good point. There'll always be open source software. Yeah, there's a lot of open TTD, roller coaster tycoons becoming open source, I believe.
Yeah. I mean, back to what CJ was saying was 99% of PS4 games work on a PS5.
That's good.
Yeah, but the PS4 is not backwards compatible either.
So. Wait, so it's 99% of PS4 games only?
As far as I'm aware, it's only the games that they have on their PS Now, which I looked through that the other day and I was like, what are these games? Like,
okay,
man, I'm sure they have a cult following or whatever, but I'm like, I've never heard of this, or this is a really old game that I doubt anybody's playing. The only thing I liked from there was like they had the entire Resident Evil thing except for the remake of 2 and 3.
But then if you want to, let's be honest, if you went into the gaming world and you have nothing, you have no console, you have no PlayStation or PC, and you want to play retro games, what do you reckon the best way about doing it is? I reckon it's going on eBay and just buying up old stuff to get the original experience. I think that is I don't think old consoles have reached that point of like thousands of pounds yet. One day they will do.
Yeah. Well, so if you wanted to play retro games in their original state, it's going to cost you a lot of money. I know with Nintendo, if you have their Nintendo Online service, which is only like $3 a month, you have access to their version of the NES and the SNES for free. You're only paying $3 a month. It's like you're paying $3 a month to play online anyway, and so they're giving you this stuff for free for paying for, you know, the online service. And there's a good catalog of games, and I don't know why somebody like Microsoft or Sony hasn't done the same thing.
I think Nintendo is one of these companies I've never gone near, and I don't actually know why. I played Pokemon at school with Pokemon cards and stuff like that, but I never. I'm trying to think. Like, what was the first console I ever had? It was actually my brother's. It was a PS1. That was our first console. Then a PS2. Then I bought a PS3. Yeah, and then I went over to PC gaming. That's my consoles and gaming career.
Yeah, so, I started with like my first console I owned was N64, but first console I played was regular NES.
So when did the Nintendo 64?
I think the original 64 came out in mid-90s, I believe.
Literally just Googling it. This is the top quality stuff you lot are listening to. Wikipedia.
Good evening, fellas.
Oh, hello.
Hey,
we have
Sin.
Sin with us.
Sorry, I hope you don't mind me intruding. It's just the conversation swung towards retro, and I thought I'd quite like to join you guys.
Well, you are the, shall I say, expert on them, I think, in the group.
I think expert's a very strong word, but
Can everybody hear Sin okay in the chat? Because I generally don't know how the audio is going to work with this, so I'm just making sure it all works.
yeah, I think as long as people can hear me come through, okay, that's fine. Well, CJ can. I just looked at the chat. Well, CJ can hear me, so that's good.
Another gentleman voice in the chat.
Yes, I'm glad there's three of us now. Two of you can read and I can't, so that helps me out massively. So.
Well, like I said, I heard you gentlemen talking about retro, and I thought, you know what, I'd like to weigh in here, because that's kind of that is something I feel I can bring to the table. So
what was your first console then, Sid?
The Sega Master System was my first console. It was the Master System 2 with Alex Kidd in Miracle World built in, which, I mean, back in those days was unheard of, because the Master System 1 not only had the top loader cartridge, but it also had the card, this sort of 8-bit card input. And by the time the Master System 2 kind of got more release into Europe, they brought out the card. It was built in, which was great to one degree, but also if you didn't seat the cartridge properly, you ended up playing Alex Kidd in Miracle World. So that was always a.
I literally just googled it, Sega Master System, and it looks like something, like some sort of bomb device. It really does. Like, if you took all the logos off it, because it's red and black, it looks like a Bond villain explosive device.
It was quite beastly. I mean, I think I would have been about 6 or 7 years old when I first got it, and it was hefty. I mean, but in those days, those consoles, they had those really big, sort of satisfying buttons that, like, when you press them, they felt good to press. It sounds absolutely mental to equate button pressing to being something good. But sorry, I have a toddler attacking me at the moment. So,
your mini me has been attacked, or being attacking
mini
you.
Me, mini me's here. I just sat down too, and she wants to see what Daddy's up to. So I was like, yeah, hello.
You are live, just to remind you. So
yes, I know. Yeah. Well, that's all right. That means I'm guaranteed not to swear if the toddler's here. So.
Yes,
Cam is in the chat.
Yes, I forgot. Sorry. Have I missed anybody else?
She says, "Hello, Cass."
Now, how do you?
Yeah,
my bad reading's going to kick me in the arse now. how do you say that username? Hentu?
Hanito.
Hanito, thank you. Apologies, because I'm terrible at reading. That's completely my fault. Do you want to clarify that now? Hanito.
That's okay.
I'm terrible at things like this. This is why I'm terrible at reading chat.
You're fine.
Yeah,
buddy.
I mean,
Sen is terrible at reading chat too, so don't feel bad.
Yeah, but he's actually good at
terrible.
games.
No, I am not. No, I'm not. I enjoy games. I wouldn't say I was good. So
I don't think
Not
any of
everyone
us
who
would
ends-
say we're good. Just play games.
I can think of some people I'm better at certain genres, but I wouldn't say I was good at games. There's a differentiation there.
So there was a question I asked Alex in her live stream yesterday, I believe it was. What was a game you were really looking forward to, but when you sat down and played it, it was utterly crap?
Chris knows what I'm going to say.
Is it Echo the Dolphin?
It is Echo the Dolphin.
What is Echo the Dolphin? I'm going to have to do... Okay, it comes up straight away on Google.
Sorry, the child press buttons. So I need to. I'm just moving my phone where she can't reach it. Sorry, Echo the Dolphin was basically a game where you're a dolphin, and your pod gets abducted by aliens.
Of course it does.
So as it does, but you don't know that at the time. It's just like this is a spoiler, but the statute of limitations is this game came out in 1992. So, basically, is you got to find what happened to your pod. And spoiler alert, as with any M. Night Shyamalan sort of film, it's aliens is the answer. So
aliens.
So it was at the time. So like Sega Power, Games Master. They really raided Echo the Dolphin. It was the sort of that. I grew up very much in an era of game reviews in magazines, and I believe Echo the Dolphin it was up there. It was 93% Games Master gave it. And of course, as an impressionable child, you're like, got to play this game. I've got to get it. And what they don't tell you is actually how unbelievably difficult it was. I mean, don't get me wrong. Back in the sort of 16-bit era, games were challenging. I'm not doing the whole you kids don't understand how difficult things are today. They were merciless.
All right,
I mean, lots of time. Hey, look.
Get off my lawn.
I'm going to reveal.
I'll sit down.
I'm going to reveal a small bit of information. So that game come out, when was it, sorry? 92?
1992 or 93, yeah.
So if it's 92, it's the same age as me.
Same.
Okay.
So,
right,
yes.
So that's some humble pie for me. Thank you.
Humble pie.
I'm looking at screenshots of it on Google, and it's like, I wouldn't click on it if it was a mobile phone game. But I think that's because I've been spoiled with modern games. So
that was the sort of cut my teeth era. I mean, I really played the sort of the Streets of Rage games and Street Fighter 2. Mortal Kombat was the first time I really saw like a person in a game. I know there were mocats, and it was very, very simple, but
I think the way they did Mortal Kombat that time, especially like going into 3, a lot of the models they used was groundbreaking compared to what we were used to at the time.
absolutely, it was. I mean, Mortal Kombat was the first game to really start getting the sort of age limits on stuff, because you could literally kill people. I mean, back then, you just kind of punch people and they disappear, and their bodies would flash and they disappear. Mortal Kombat, kind of broke the mold that you could
Rip their spine out through their chest. Yeah.
I was trying to how to phrase that as eloquently as possible.
No, I wasn't. I'm not very eloquent. Sorry.
Okay, fine. You could violently dismember people.
yes,
In a
remove one limbs from one's body in such a manner they'd be shocked. I don't think get any posh than that.
Mortal Kombat 1 was quite, I suppose, I don't even think it was tame, because, I mean, you could uppercut people's heads off, rip their heads off, burn them to death. Kano, of course, you could pull their heart out, sort of Mola Ram style.
Kalima.
Yeah.
Kalima.
And then I think, was it by 1994, Mortal Kombat 2 would come out, and they were a lot more creative with it. Like Sub-Zero could freeze them and shatter them. It just went up and up. Baraka used to impale people, and they just slide down like these arm spikes. And and for the first time, games really started getting notoriety as well, because all of a sudden, my age group wanted to play the game where you violently murder people, and of course, parents at this point are now starting to. There's gravitas now for parents blaming video games for violence.
Yeah,
I mean,
enjoy your evening, CJ.
Oh yes, yeah. I hadn't had a chance. I didn't want to interrupt Sin. I am reading chat, so
I will interrupt when I can.
No worries. You carry on, Sin. Sorry.
No, it's like I was just going to say. I mean, obviously in later times, the vilification of video games when you had the banning of Manhunt in what was that 2002? Because I think it was someone got stabbed with a screwdriver and they blamed Manhunt, and it's certainly UK wide that got taken off the shelves for a long time.
There was what was that school game that got banned in Australia? The Bully. Was it? I think it's literally called Bully.
Bully. Yeah.
Bully.
That is
again. Rockstar again. Rockstar did Manhunt, Bully, and Grand Theft Auto.
I was just going to say, because there's a video on YouTube. You guys can go and look this up at your leisure. Where it is from the news of whenever GTA come out the first one, and it's like talking to the gentleman going, you can run people over and carjack them and all sorts of things, and what GTA's like, and it's just bizarre. You see the computers in the back with the big old the screen is deeper than it is wide sort of screen, and now they're like paper thin, but yeah, it just. And then some of the games now I see you guys watching or playing, in your live streams, and I'm like, I couldn't play these. I don't like horror games. I just couldn't play them. I tried playing a horror game once, and well, everybody saw how that turned out. Yeah, so I was genuinely shaken by the end of that. I was like, I can't deal with this. I can't deal with this.
I will say the horror genre when it comes to games has evolved so much. Like the atmosphere has gotten so much better, but you look at a game like, say, Resident Evil 2, where they just remastered it a few years ago, and you look at the original one, I think there's more of a terrifying element in the older one than there is now, because in the older one, the cameras were fixed rather than third person.
You were forced to look at something, basically.
Yeah. So, I know there's a scene in Resi 2 where you're there's the police captain's office. In the remake, you can just see that there's a zombie in there. But in the original one, because the camera's fixed, you didn't know. So when you walked in there, you literally walked right into him. And he attacks you, immediately. So I think, games have evolved, but there is now a lost element from back then as well.
I think, the only real thing I know about horror and directing of horror films is it's better off never showing the monster ever, because what you make in your mind will be specific to you and specific to your fears. That's why, if you put yourself in a pitch black room, there's no light whatsoever, and open your eyes, you will start to see things.
Yeah.
I think there was again citation needed on all this. I think there was a study where they put someone in a room and the room was dark, and after about 6 hours they started to hallucinate, because their brain was just craving something to see. Your brain human brains are brilliant at looking for patterns. Hence,
absolutely.
It's almost in the sense of if you go in, there was a study done where they put somebody in a room that absorbed sound.
Yes.
And they could hear their own heartbeat.
Yeah.
And it drove them crazy.
I think Veritasium did a video on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a thing, I don't remember where it's at, but you can literally go and sit in there, and they'll allow you to sit in there for a minute or so just to experience the fact that you can literally hear the fluid moving in your body. That's how bad it was.
I'd say the easiest way you could similarly experience that is wearing earplugs, and I mean good earplugs, not cheap crappy ones. Get a good set, put them in, you can hear your own heartbeat going.
Yeah.
But you can still hear outside, everything else sounds like that. But I'd say that's the closest cheap experience of that you could get.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because I'm sure we talked about this before. I was in a band, and so we used to go into soundproof rooms all the time, and they weren't over the top big budget soundproof rooms, but those would freak you out because you would go from outside hearing cars and everything. You walk in there, it's nothing, dead air.
I think we've upset little Welshie. She's like, that's messed up in the chat. Sorry, Welshie. We'll send you some tea, don't worry.
Tea time.
Yes.
She's gone to console herself with some tea now.
Yes.
Is what you're trying to say.
Oh dear.
I will say, like, back on the thing of horror games, they've done a great job recently of almost using movie elements in the video games now, which back then they didn't really do. Like, they tried to do, but, like, for instance, the playing through Resident Evil 7. Spoiler alert. Playing through Resident Evil 7, there was there's like something within the first 20 minutes, right, of the game, and you see the girl crawling up the stairs. It really freaked me out. But then the story within that game, they could literally take that game specifically and make it a movie, and people would really enjoy it, I think, anyway.
I think it's called The Ring.
It sounds like it.
That specific scene reminded me of The Ring, but like the story of the Baker family and stuff like that, that whole, because there's a twist near the end as well, which I won't spoil that if people have never played it, but like the entire story of the Baker family, if they made that into a movie, I think it would do really well. And you don't even have to call it Resident Evil because of how well the story plays out. See,
I don't know about you guys, but when I see like a new TV, I don't watch TV. I don't have the time.
No.
I see like an advert for. Let's take an example. I saw an advert for Snow Chaser. It's about a train going through the snow in the world that's frozen.
Snowpiercer.
That's it, Snowpiercer. Thank you.
That's okay.
And I was like, I'm not going to sit and watch this. I'm going to look up.
Crap.
Okay, I thought it was quite good from what I saw, but fair enough.
I watched it the other week. It was rubbish.
Okay.
I just got annoyed. It's playing on dystopia as always. So.
Yeah, like I watch when I find something like that, I will watch a recap of it where someone has sat down and made a video and go, here's a recap on every episode in a 5-minute chunk. And yeah, it was like first class, second class, third class fighting, but I was more interested in the concept of the train. And all the rest of it. But yeah, they tend to like with horror films, there was what was that horror film where it was a video camera in New York and New York has been attacked by a monster going back sort of 2009ish.
Cloverfield.
That's it.
Yeah.
I love the concept.
Because isn't it in that movie, because I don't think I've sat down and watched that movie before, but it's like they don't show you the monster all the way until the end of the movie.
Yes.
Like that.
Yeah, and they show bits of it, like its tail or its toe or something.
And it's all done through a hand camera. What's it called?
Mm-hmm.
Video
camcorder. I mean, it's just like in the same vein of like a Blair Witch or something like that.
But I think that was a 2009ish movie, I want to say.
Yeah.
I remember watching it on a plane going to America, which was kind of weird.
I'm sorry.
I was thinking about going when I was on a plane, and I remember asking the stewardess, can I go and see the captain bit, the cabin, back before 9/11, and then I sat there and go, you can't do that anymore.
Yeah.
Like it's been years since I've been on a plane, but I just remember asking that, and it's just old man's chat with Wolfgrim and the EQB. Is it EQB? I always forget what we called it.
Yeah, we're EQB now.
EQB, yeah. Oh dear. But yes. Tea in the chat. Yes, lots of tea.
Tea time.
There's always time for tea.
Mm-hmm.
Always time for tea.
Well, it's a bit late for tea now here, at least. Anyway, it's nearly 7 o'clock here.
Well, you say that, but every time Alex or I are live, we always see Welshie go, "It's time." Like, oh, it's tea time.
Welsh, I think Welshie you run on tea, I would imagine.
Our blood's made of English breakfast.
English breakfast tea. Oh, this is not fair. It's not fair. We're bullying Welshie now. This is not fair. Go and check her channel out. It's good.
She's very sus, so I get to bully her. It's okay.
Oh dear. Is there some salt?
After the last Among Us, last time I played Among Us, she was the killer several times, and she didn't spoil that she was in the greenhouse, so she did really, really well. She did better than we were leading on to.
Oh, I do need to play Among Us. on the channel.
Yeah,
at
we
least.
need to plan a day where like we can play early rather than at 9 p.m. for you guys.
Yeah, I mean, between now and 9 p.m. This is probably the best time of the week for me. Current time. Also, apologies in chat. This is literally us just socialising. You are more than welcome to ask us questions and moan at us and whatever. This is purely a chill out of whatever. I have no idea what I'm doing, basically. It's like most things.
Yeah, it's the Wolf Chill podcast. I like it.
Podcast.
I was gonna say that too. I was like, yeah, it feels like a podcast. Reminds me of back in the day, you know.
Yeah.
Is there any podcasts you guys listen to?
Not really, no. No, I mean, I suppose the only podcast, I mean, I'm totally going off gaming topic, the only podcasts I've listened to were mainly for, like, training for work. So if I had to go travelling for my job, I'd sit there and have someone talk to me about Cisco networks, for example, in the car. I mean, I realise that's not exactly very riveting, but it means... And I suppose it's not conducive to not falling asleep when you're driving, but I mean, at the same time, it's what I need to know for my job, for example. So I always use podcasts mainly as a training tool rather than sort of entertainment, because it's I mean, I must admit, I mean, the whole ethos of streaming, I did not understand it before lockdown occurred. I never understood why I would watch or even sort of pay money to someone to watch them play a game which I could play myself. And then the epiphany that came to me, certainly meeting all of you guys, was I'm not watching the game. The game accounts for, 30-40% of the stream. It's the person in it who I'm watching, seeing how they react, seeing how they interact with it. I mean, for example, Chris, you are a prime example, and Alex, of our friends, of someone who is an entertaining person who engages with the chat, and you reel people in with your personality. And that's what I never really understood until the last 3-4 months, certainly. And now it's just sort of like, it's a venue of entertainment which I'd never appreciated before until now. And, you know, seeing what goes on behind the scenes gives me a greater appreciation of the craft, if you will. It's the same way that, like, when you learn to cook, if you then have a nice meal, you appreciate it because you understand the craft that's gone behind the scenes to make it like that. It's the same with streams. Because you get good streamers, you get bad streamers. You know, and
I know where I fall in those categories.
Oh, look, okay. No, but okay. You get successful streamers and less successful streamers. So then you're in the same category as me then.
Dear.
Yeah, I'm down there with you guys. It's okay.
I'll give over, Chris. Like you and Alex. I mean, look at the energy you and Alex bring to the world of Twitch. It's a joy to watch.
If it wasn't for Sneak Brand energy, I wouldn't have this energy. Sorry.
Am I going to have to kick you now?
Look, CJ and I are trying to get that plug, man.
I know you are.
Yeah,
I wish you the best of luck with it. Can I have 1% of the profit, please?
I will send it. Give me your PayPal information. I'll send it to you.
No. Chris will hit the mother load when KFC start answering his calls. So.
Oh yeah, I added that shirt, right? I don't know if you saw that fucking. Sorry, that freaking. I dropped an F-bomb.
It's going to happen at some point. It's
okay. 18 plus.
Yeah, it's going to happen at some point.
Okay, so first off, we are 54 minutes into this, right?
Mm-hmm.
YouTube doesn't care after the first 5 minutes, so anyway. But I apologize. I lost my train of thought. Sorry.
You were talking about KFC.
Oh yeah, so
not sponsored.
Sin made that the BHKFC thing as a joke, and I spruced it up a little bit and put it on a shirt.
Wait, have you?
It looks great.
Are you actually getting the shirt?
Great.
So it's in the store, and I'm gonna order it as well.
Wait, have you got merch now?
Oh yeah, surprise!
Hang on. This whole stream can just wait. I need to see this merch. Sorry, stream, you can all wait. I have priorities.
I'll see you. Hold on. Yeah, I was gonna, because I haven't announced it on YouTube yet either. Or Twitter or anything.
Sorry. Everyone forget the last 10 seconds.
No, I don't.
Yeah. Can the jury disregard that statement, please?
Yes. I was in Copenhagen. I wasn't here.
That video will come out Monday.
I feel bad now. I sort of let the cat out of the bag early.
Well, so like I literally have worn it on stream.
Oh.
Or certain pieces of it I've worn on stream. So it's like it's not like it's a big surprise, you know.
Okay. For anybody watching this stream post live, is that the correct terminology? And you can tweet me if I don't do this. I will try and link to everybody's channels in the description of this video. At the moment, the description doesn't say anything. Just to clarify for people in the future.
I DM'd you the link.
Thank you.
But yeah, so I did it as a joke, and we started tagging KFC in it. But I told Sin, because he made the design, I wanted to split the profits with him. But he's telling me no, and I'm going to shove it. I'm going to mail the money to him. Or I'm going to save it until I meet him and just throw it in his face.
If we end up in court... Oh, dear.
We probably will.
Oh, not again. Please, not again.
My thought with the design though was like, if I literally the first thing they'll do is hit me with a cease and desist order, and I just take it down.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to comment.
Apparently they took down my tweet. So,
Yeah. Last night.
Yes.
I tweeted about it and tagged KFC Gaming in it because apparently they have their own gaming team, and my tweet got taken down. I don't know why. So I retweeted it.
I'm not sure what to say to that.
It's a bizarre concept that a fast food restaurant suddenly is trying to corner the gaming market.
Well, I suppose it's
I
like...
know.
Go on.
I mean, I was going to say, because I know like Domino's will, they always seem to sort of coattail on adverts for games a lot. So it's a sort of, that's the market they're going for, the whole stay in kind of ethos. But I mean, then to see like KFC getting on it, I'm like, well, where does it stop? Because I mean, like McDonald's in terms of gaming, McDonald's, I'm sorry to hark back to retro, had games back on the Mega Drive. They had like McKids, they had Global Gladiators. I mean, Global Gladiators was initially looking at it, you think, what's it got to do with McDonald's? And then you got like Ronald McDonald is when you see him at the end of the level and he's waving his flag and you collect his little M's throughout of it, and I'm like. It didn't really show the product lines that McDonald's obviously are known for, which is like burgers, fries, milkshakes. You don't collect any of that within the game. You're trying to purge the world of pollution, which I suppose is almost ironic that something that gives plastic toys away for every child that eats there.
Yeah, that's...
back in 1993 was trying to basically promote itself as an eco-friendly brand.
That's But their marketing has obviously worked because you're talking about it. So
This is true.
But going back to that sort of time period where games used to be like Little Welsh, you just said that bloody crap. Games used to be like everybody would have a game, every movie would have a game.
Yeah.
I think we're now going through that again, but with mobile phone games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's what's happening. So like and it's like every game or movie has a hashtag as well now.
Yeah.
That's just the default thing.
That's a marketing thing though, because if you look at certain hashtags, they're not used before then. And so if you just going back to the Resident Evil to tie it in from earlier, if you had Resident Evil hashtag Resident Evil movie, people are gonna, the second that you tweet that out as the producer or the studio for that movie, people are going to latch on to that hashtag.
Yeah.
They're going to tweet about it, and that's going to make that hashtag specifically a viral hashtag,
Yeah, because at the end of the day, they want it trending.
Yeah.
Of course.
Because then it's just free marketing.
Which is, I think, why Twitter's a good tool. Especially for all of us. I don't necessarily like social media in general, but like, I think Twitter's a good tool, again, for us as smaller content creators, to get our stuff out there. You can use those hashtags that are trending to, it might blend into whatever else is trending, but you might get one or two extra clicks on your link because you used that trending hashtag,
Twitter certainly. Sorry.
No, go.
Twitter seems to be a bit more of a level playing field, certainly for us small creators. That what the merit of what I tweet carries the same merit as what someone famous would tweet. They're easily as found. Whereas like YouTube, for example, I don't feel YouTube really gives the support to the small creator, because we just get bombed with the ones that make money, sort of thing. So like all our suggested videos for like certainly when you start out, it's all the well-known people, and it's like you're just literally going to get lost in the noise. So which means self-promotion therefore is a lot harder. I mean, for self-promotion, I mean, Twitter for me has been the best of the social media platforms, because I don't want to use Facebook, because Facebook is almost it's a life invader, isn't it? It's very personal. Instagram is just pictures, but you can't put links in it. So whereas Twitter was kind of more of a medium and is a lot more accessible, I think. So
well,
I think
there is a certain thing with the algorithm with Facebook and Twitter, because they both do the same thing of if you post a link, they're more likely to not show your tweet or not show your post because you're using that link to leave their platform, and they want you to be on their platform as long as they can.
It's like with Discord. Whenever you click a link on Discord, it's like, are you sure you want to leave?
Yeah.
They want to keep you there. At the end of the day, all these business... YouTube's probably the only exception to this. Is at the end of the day, they want to make money. YouTube has not... Again, citation needed. YouTube has never made a profit in its entire career. Which I find odd. But I think it just shows how... I don't want to use the word powerful, but I can't think of a better word, how powerful a platform it is. But I wouldn't say there's no great platform of any kind. There is no perfect system.
Well, it's almost like the reason why I decided to stream on Twitch rather than YouTube or Facebook, because the options were there. It's like it's another platform, and while they do promote bigger streamers, if you go to their home page, they literally, like, especially like my recommended is usually people that have like 8 to 12 viewers. So it seems like they're trying to promote people rather than just the big streamers. Whereas if you go on to like, if you type in something on YouTube, like say Among Us, if you type in Among Us, it's literally going to be whatever videos are trending more, because YouTube's going to make more money off of that video.
Yeah.
Whereas Twitch is like, even if you're affiliated on Twitch, Twitch is going to make money off of you regardless. So it's like, with YouTube, you won't necessarily make that money, whereas Twitch will. So it's like, plus it's an extra social media platform for you to promote. Like, for example, I think Alex, myself, and Sin, because we're on both platforms, we can stay live on Twitch, send them to our YouTube channel. Maybe we get an extra sub or something. So it's just one more tool to promote your YouTube.
See, that reminds me, I remember speaking to you, Chris, the other day about someone won't sit down and watch, say, a 5-hour replay of a Twitch account of somebody's, but they will sit down and watch like a 12-part series of 20 minutes. And I didn't realise, I actually sat down and did that with Tina's, what's the monster one she's doing? I can't remember the name of the series.
You said monster, and it's literally her entire.
I know, that's the problem. Right. The one with the octopus, you're an investigator.
Evil Within.
Yeah, I started watching that, and then I realised all I'm doing is watching a 12-part series, or however many part series, of a 5-hour stream. And it's like, this is literally what I was talking about the other day with Chris. And it's like, I wouldn't sit and watch the 5-hour long one, but I will sit down and watch the 12-part series one. It's just logically is stupid.
Well, so it's the same thing with when I started watching Cam's Until Dawn series. It's easy to sit down and watch, because you see, 30 minutes. You're like, I got 30 minutes. I can watch this. And you sit down and watch it. And then 3 hours later, you're like, I watched 6 episodes. What the heck happened?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, because you're so invested in, it goes back to being invested in that person as well.
Yes.
Because if that person wasn't entertaining, then you're just watching games and you're like, I can just watch somebody else. But there's a lot of attention span in the world has gotten shorter as the years have gone on. So if you look at a video and you see an hour, you're like, do I really have an hour? But if you look at a video and see 20 minutes, you're like, oh, I could spare 20 minutes or whatever. But it's the same thing with live streams. If you're not watching it live, you're less likely to go back and watch it.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
I think the whole watching it live, you're more likely to watch it, is there's a name for this, and I can't remember what it's called. The fear of missing out.
yeah, and the fact that when you're live, you can also interact with that content creator.
And this
as long as they're interacting with chat. We've seen a lot of people that don't do that.
Yes.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, we are literally doing that now.
Literally was not referencing anybody in this call. So unless you're good at Mortal, never mind. I'm not going there.
But yeah, this is literally why I wanted to make this style of live stream, is to interact with people like this and literally just have a nice. I think I'm literally repeating what I said earlier. Where just have a simple, nice little background with a bit of rain or something ambient. So
it's nice. I like.
Yeah.
I am enjoying the fireflies. It has to be said.
That's actually a wallpaper that I found online. I was like, that's perfect.
It's very peaceful. If we had Cam's entrance music to her Twitch, that would be be amazing. I'd be very relaxed.
I'm not even gonna lie. If we had her song and this, I'd probably fall asleep. It's usually that relaxing. I'm like, how are you playing Last of Us 2 and you have a song that makes me want to sit down?
Everyone's so relaxed, and then the Rat King appears. Yeah.
Oh dear. But yeah, this is the vibe I wanted to go for. I wanted to do the most chilled out, because the world is very serious. I hate to bring things back to the real world for a minute, but the world is very serious right now, and I feel like it needs a bit of let's just wing it and all have some fun. I mean, we've already had one swear word, and mini-me interrupt us already, so it's all going great so far.
Yeah, so one of us has been attacked by a small child in the duration of this. And
what makes it even funnier is, like, if you would have said, somebody swore in this, it wouldn't be me that would picked out, it would be Sin.
Absolutely.
And of course, I'm the one that drops it.
It's gonna happen.
This is weird. This is the first live stream I've been involved in where I'm not yelling. I'm actually quite relaxed right now. I mean, if it's like me streaming, I'm on edge the whole time, and I'll start yelling, I'll say stupid things. Here, I feel it's like I'm having a nice, relaxed chat with friends. We are broadcasting it, but it's nice. It's a strange catharsis. People always seem to equate catharsis to doing something violent, bombastic, and get out there to get out your system. But sometimes, literally, just sit back and having a nice conversation is exactly what your soul needs.
Yeah, which is why it's called. I hate to say it's all about me, but it's about everybody. This, and it's why I call it the coffee shop.
Well. It is your channel, so it is all about you, Wolf.
It is all about you. I was going to say we're
literally guests on your channel. It's about you. It's like,
I know.
I don't feel that way.
Yes, yeah. It's still weird to me. I have a YouTube channel.
It's one of those things that when you're introverted and you're putting yourself out there, it's the strangest thing. It really is.
That brings up an interesting thought. Is the very first Little Welsh? It's all about you. Isn't that a song?
It's all about you. Yeah,
beat
Tina
me to
used
it.
to sing that all the time for no reason.
What do you mean used to sing it? She still does.
Look, after last night, I don't know what she says anymore.
Does someone need to go through all the videos and find every bit she's sung and just make the entire song out of it?
I already did that with Sin, but
that's a lot of editing.
Yeah, thanks for that. Yeah, I need to stop singing on stream. It's embarrassing.
Every time he sings, I hit that clip button real fast.
There's a small spoiler coming up. I am editing together a outtakes video, and this is a small thing I do before I play a game, is because I am naturally very shy. I will put on a high beat song randomly, and of course YouTube starts recommending them, so I just click one at random now. And God knows what it was, but I just started dancing in my seat and miming along to it, and the recording was already going. So I was like, well, that's going in the outtakes. I'm going to make a complete fool of myself. So anybody watching this, you've got that to look forward to at some point. Some point that'll come out.
Well, that reminds me of like somebody like a Jacksepticeye and Markiplier. They've done the similar thing.
Yep.
Where it's like right before they're recording,
That's
They'll do
literally what it
something-
is.
Something stupid because they're trying to, prep themselves for the recording, and then
Yep.
it's like, you've already hit play or record or whatever, so
It's just like that.
so you just have all this footage of you going. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like I've got ones where that I try and do my intro and it takes me like 6 attempts.
Yeah,
And
that's
there's
normal.
yeah.
That's normal. Because you trip up on your work. The amount of times I will literally just go into my usual patter and then just go blah 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 blah, because I just totally got tongue tied, and I go do it again. And I mean the thing was, I don't know about you guys. I mean, I certainly. When you do a YouTube video, because you can edit, you become more of a perfectionist. With Twitch, you're like, oh, I said something stupid there, it's done now. Whereas with YouTube, you can distinguish that, you can get rid of that fault, if you will. And you end up becoming just that little bit more of a perfectionist. I mean, I've now started using a green screen, and the amount of times I've got the opacity wrong, and I had a see-through head as I was doing it, and I know Chris made fun of me for this. I did one video and I was wearing a blue hoodie and I didn't realise how transparent I literally was. And then I was like, I'm going to have to redo this entire intro but wearing something completely different. I mean, it sounds crazy that, I'm actually conscious about, all I am is it's me and a camera, and I'll do my hair. I'll make sure the t-shirt I'm wearing doesn't have food all over it, or isn't one I wore in the previous video, so people think I'm wearing the same clothes. I've only got 3 clothes.
So as a good example, I'll switch to my camera for a second, and above me, if I tilt, oh hang on, is there a 10-second delay on the stream?
Probably 15.
No, there you go. So, yeah, it's about 15.
Yeah, we
if I
see
tilt
now.
the camera up, you can see the terrible roof in here. And I always try and crop that out. Like that little white bit there. You'll see it in a second because there's a delay.
Was that trunking?
That is the ceiling of this room. Because no, I'm going to go back to the thing now. Yeah, because this studio was built. Basically, this studio is inside a workshop, and the workshop's inside a shed. It's really fancy. It's not. Like, it gets freezing cold in here and boiling hot in here all the time. So
Look, my recording space is literally the gap underneath the stairs of my house. My green screen is literally pinned to the underside of the stairs. I mean, you can make all the Harry Potter jokes all you like, but I mean, I don't have a desk. I mean, like I saw like Tina's set up the other day. She's got like
That
a
looks
really
lovely.
nice desk, a really nice chair.
thank you, Ken.
My keyboard and 2 of my monitors sit actually on an electric piano. My desk is in fact a piano.
Sweet.
So yeah, and you just make the space where you can, because with the beauty of editing and stuff like that, you can hide the fact that basically, if you were to basically come to my house and see where I do the recording and stuff like that, it is so unprofessional, but it doesn't matter because it doesn't look that unprofessional.
You see a bunch of Kit Kat wrappers on the floor, and
Oh yeah, well, it's usually a
Coke cans everywhere.
24 pack of Coca-Cola on the floor,
Oh dear.
which is shoved at the bottom, so I can literally just don't have to get out my chair if I was streaming if I wanted a drink. So
Little
I
Welshie just said that it's a start. I just want to point out that when I first started, I had literally just a computer and a webcam, and I used the webcam as a microphone. So yeah, and this is years of building up crap. It's basically buying bits and bobs. So it all takes time.
but it's an improvement. There is nothing wrong with improve. And you taking something and go, right, how can I make this better? And then you make it better. I mean, I suppose in today's society, people are more content to complain about something rather than make that change.
You do have
Absolutely.
something, Little Welsh. Sorry, Little Welshie just said she doesn't have anything. You do, Little Welshie. You have a YouTube channel that's your voice to the world.
Exactly, and it's a good YouTube channel as well.
Yes.
Seriously, it's it's
Right.
entertaining. We all love your content.
I will
Yeah.
link to all the Equilibrium channels in the description once
There we
this
go.
is done and recorded.
well, so this goes back to like how we all started. We have to start somewhere, right?
Mm-hmm.
And with Welshie, the way she's doing videos is she's recording from mobile, and then recording from her phone, like her face cam from her phone.
Yeah.
But she's recording the game from her tablet. The fact that she can do that and edit everything on her tablet
Yeah,
That's
that's
a
and
skill.
still make
That's
a
nuts.
quality video, like that's a real skill. And she doesn't realize that. Like, she's like, oh shit, no, it's not. Like,
You better be listening,
No,
Welshie. You better be listening to us.
my first microphone for YouTube was a Guitar Hero USB microphone. It was absolute dog crap. The webcam I used was the webcam from the laptop that I had. Like, it was not good. So it's like,
But
You know what, Chris?
what's up?
The first recording which I ever did on YouTube, I used a Guitar Hero USB microphone.
Did you do what I did?
Because-
You cover it with a sock so you have a pop filter on it.
Oh, the sock for a pop filter.
No, I didn't do that. I literally had it sort of finely balanced because where I collect playing cards, it's like building blocks. I literally almost like did some ad hoc stand using these to hold the mic in place. And the amount of times it rolled off, it was. But that's how you start.
So,
I mean,
yeah, yours was a little more.
Rough and ready.
Yeah, because being a musician, I have a kick drum or the bass drum microphone stand for like when we do gigs and stuff. So it's literally 6 inches tall, but it's got a mic holder, so you just put the mic on it.
Yeah, I mean, I've got a mic holder. I mean, I was telling you this the other day, Chris. I mean, when I first had a first foray into YouTube 10 years ago, I didn't have video capture software. Yeah, I didn't have video capture software. I literally had a small digital camera which I wedged in the microphone holder of that, and it was pointed at the television. And me and my friends Dan and Matt used to come around my flat, and we used to get the Mega Drive fired up, and it used to just record the screen of the television, and you just hear us in the background. I mean, I was heavily inspired by the old Angry Video Game Nerd, because he used to basically lose his rag at playing old games, and I thought, well, that's what I'm like anyway. But I realised that it was quite contrived. I used to get mad for the sake of getting mad, because I thought it was that stupid one that I hate these channels which sort of like, hey, I rage at games, and they're marketing themselves as I'm going to play a game because it's going to make me angry. Now that isn't entertainment. For me, I think if you naturally get annoyed at something, that is funny. But if you're getting angry for the sake of getting angry, then it's a bit fake.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? I mean, it's the same. Chris, you must get this with being, a horror gamer. That you will get the odd one and say, "Oh, your reactions are fake." No, they're not. You can't really fake being afraid.
No.
The difference between me and people that do fake their things is I'm not over the top. Like, I'm genuinely terrified. I'm not gonna jump out of my chair and scream and run away, but I will jump back if something jump scares me. You know what I mean?
I think any actor will tell you, like, the other sort of thing that's really hard to fake is laughter. Laughter is such a hard thing to fake.
Yeah.
And I've done videos where I generally have tried faking laughter because something's gone wrong, and I've had to repeat something in a game, and I want the same reaction, and it just doesn't work. So you just have to scrub that. Insincere. Yeah, you have to just scrub that part of the video and get rid of it. Welcome back, Ash. Not a lot, just 3 people rambling on. One of them an idiot. You can win a cookie if you can guess which one it is. It's me. But yeah.
No.
This is just a.
We're not doing that.
We're not doing that.
We're not racing ourselves to the bottom then.
I mean, I can't race you if I'm already there.
Oh.
And this is what it starts. This is the touch paper. And
look, I told you last night, Sin, with people like myself and Welshie, when people call themselves trash, we go, no, you're not trash, I'm trash.
For context, anybody, obviously, 99% of people watching this aren't part of the Discord. It's a private Discord. The chat was basically filled full of GIFs of people being thrown into trash, if I'm not mistaken. And I logged into Discord and I was like, what the hell has just happened?
Well, so Tina and Harry call each other trash all the time. They're like, Harry's trash. No, Tina's trash. Well, Welshie and I do the opposite. Anytime somebody calls themselves trash, we're like, no, you're not trash. We're trash. I'm trash. So then it sparks a whole debate. Don't say that about yourself.
Dear.
Well, you don't say that about yourself.
This is the polar part, and then you've got some basically the sort of neutral Switzerland people like me who don't think they're trash or think anyone else is trash, and you're telling them to just stop it.
Shut up. I hear that like once a
I had
day
to
from Sin. Shut
I had to
up.
hot take that one time when I think Welshie was doing when we were playing Dying Light, Chris,
Mm-hmm.
and I had to go into hot take to get my point across.
Well, she was like, she said she was trash, and Sin was like, I'm not having it today.
Yeah, yeah, it was. Yeah, the hot take was summoned.
We're being told off by Ash and Welshie now in chat.
Yeah,
Ash is saying, don't do it to yourselves. Dirty little Welshie is saying, don't rank yourself. This isn't an advertisement. I thought it was. This is a 1 hour 20 long advertisement. Have you subscribed yet? Speaking
Have
of
you
which,
subscribed?
yes,
Have you subscribed to Wolf?
have you
Subscribe
subscribed?
today.
Yeah, and every channel in the description. It will be there in probably 2 days' time when I find all the links.
yeah.
Oh no, chat is becoming a democracy all of a sudden.
Yeah. Well,
Our Discord's
Funny enough-
supposed to be a democracy.
so funny enough, talking about sort of back to self-promotion, this was actually a bit of advice Chris gave me a few months ago. I never used to say the whole patter of please like and subscribe. I felt so awkward doing it. I don't like telling people to come watch me. I don't like telling people, telling them what you do. I can't. I'm not good at hard selling.
Yeah.
And it was because it was I've watched a lot of YouTube, and you know, straight off the bat, you always get these overly energetic people who basically just smash that like button straight off the bat, and you're like, whoa, I don't even know what you're going to show me. Why would I like it? And I just this is just a personal opinion of mine. I'm not saying there's anything wrong doing it that way. I found it put me off wanting to subscribe to their content if they're basically their opening gambit is to basically bowl up their entire channel, put it in a nice bit of pastry, and then shove it down my throat. And I was like,
Well, so one of the things that when I first started, that was something that I did. Hey, I play this kind of game. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and blah blah. And let's get into the video, kind of thing. But when I was watching a content creator who helps other YouTubers, he was talking about how a good sweet spot is about 2 to 3 minutes into your video, because usually by that time they have decided whether your video is a good video or not.
Yeah.
And the fact there's a lot of content creators that literally don't say it,
Yes.
and they're least likely to get a subscription, or least likely to get a like, because some people there's a lot of times, I'm sure you guys do it too, where you watch a video and you don't think about it. You just watch the video and video's over. Like,
Yes. Yeah, I watch a lot of I like making stuff, so I end up watching videos on like ripping gearboxes apart and stuff like this, and it's all very unusual things like that, and I'll just sit and watch a couple of videos on someone's channel, and then suddenly they're being recommended. But along the same lines, I remember watching a YouTuber that does Warhammer stuff, and he did a video, and then halfway through the video he said, I don't say this often, but subscribe. And then in the next video he said, you know the thing when I said subscribe, his subscriber count jumped that day. So there's obviously some sort of merit to that. But I think you can overdo it.
Yeah, so like if your opening line is, hey, what's going on? Don't forget to like and subscribe, let's get into the video. People are like, oh yeah, you're pandering now. It's like, click off. But if, again, that 2 to 3 minute mark, if you look at most people's watch time, that's usually where it sits anyway, about 3. Unless it's a really entertaining video, you might get up to 10 minutes. But back to people's attention span, people are they're gonna see something in the recommended, and they're gonna go, oh, and watch that.
It'll be interesting.
And it'll keep going.
It'll be interesting to see the analytics on this live one, because we're currently at 1 hour 20ish. And if you're still watching now, thank you, first of all. And it's going to be interesting, because it's all like you get a 10-minute video, everyone they're sit and commit 10 minutes, but it's a 15-minute video, they commit 5 minutes, and so it's one of these diminishing returns. And I mean, there is some YouTubers I watch that are like, they'll put out a 2-hour video, and some of them I will sit and watch. I will actually make time for those videos, versus normally I'm just like, okay, I'll add it to a playlist, I'll watch it later.
Well, then that goes back to the personality. You might see somebody post a 2-hour video, and if you know that they're somebody that you watch regularly
Mhm.
or somebody that you find entertaining, I think you're likely to sit there and watch them.
Yeah.
Especially like a bigger YouTuber that posts a 2-hour video. Whereas people like us, sure, we'll support each other, but the random outside person will look at 2 hours and go, that's too long. I'm not watching that.
All I would say about our, I don't want to, yeah, I'll use the word group because I can't think of a better word. With our
I
group,
always say team. So
I
yeah,
say team. Yeah, I like
sorry.
team.
The thing is, if I spell team, I will put the I in it. Because I can't spell it.
there is an I in the a-hole. So you know.
Oh God. We had
Hey,
we had some sort of standard in this, and now it's just gone.
I usually when I join somebody's anything, and bring the standard way low.
Oh
So.
dear, I'm going to lose loads of subscribers now, aren't I? just because of you.
Okay.
I'm going to blame solely you.
Look, you're gonna lose them, and they're gonna come subscribe to me, and I'll finally pass you in subs, right?
I still, along those lines, I still maintain. I remember this was before I met you guys, and generally it was that CJ is going to beat me to 1,000 subs. I still maintain that. I genuinely think that's going to be the case. Out of
I
us
think that
two.
all the time.
Yeah, same. Tim, you and I have had this conversation. I was like, when he starts streaming, it's over for the rest of us.
Yeah.
The thing is, I can't put my finger on what it is either. It's just
it's his
It's his
100% personality. Yeah,
It's his personality.
100%.
yeah. It's like it's somewhat like I'm a big fan of Jacksepticeye, and it's like I can't put my finger on why I will sit and watch these videos. I don't know why. I just find them entertaining. I think it's a case of it's like us three now, and anybody else that joins the chat later on is we are sitting here and chatting like we're in the same room.
Yeah.
But obviously, because he's a big YouTuber, that's not the real world case, but that's what it feels like.
Yeah.
And he comes across like he's only doing it for you and only chatting to you. And I think that's why some YouTubers who are like him do really well, and then you get others who will spike in subscribers because they're doing something weird and wonderful, and then 6 months later they're dead and gone. So Cam says, I never used to like Jacksepticeye, but now I started watching his streams, I like him a lot. I was exactly the same when he first started. I didn't like him, and then after a while I sort of warmed up to it. Sorry, Sin, you were saying?
I was just saying, I don't tend to watch YouTubers because of, I mean, I'm talking about the big YouTubers here, the ones who have got millions of subscribers. I don't tend to basically flock to their banner. I mean, it's not because I'm trying to be contrary. It's just sort of like I always seem to watch what I want to watch. And there was, I watch a lot of magicians. There's one magician, I'm not going to mention his name, but it was like when I first started watching him, he was like doing lots of tutorials. He was really, you felt like he could be a mate. You feel like you go to the pub with him. You know, you can sit down, have a drink, and he would genuinely be interested in what you had to say.
Yeah.
Whereas now, whereby he's like millions upon millions upon millions, it's almost like he's got too much money, and he's just releasing videos showing how much money he has, and that's kind of put me off him a little bit. Because it's almost like he's got a hubris channel now.
Yeah, I think.
Do you know what I mean? I find that quite off-putting, but that's just personally. I mean, he's still very successful, you know, and fair play to the guy. But I watch his stuff now, and I don't feel the same way watching his content that I used to, which is why I got so invested in him. Which is why I thought about buying his merch. And I mean, I've got a couple of decks of cards that he's produced, though, because again, he is one of my favourite magicians. It's just that I just find him a bit bigger. And that, for me, puts me off. And it's kind of like, one of my biggest things is I'd never wanted to come across as a big head, know-it-all, you know, just being in love with yourself. That's one of the number one turn-offs. And I've spoken to Chris about this before. I mean, I've seen quite a few gaming content creators who, straight off the bat, they absolutely love themselves. And I am not interested in seeing their playthrough, because it won't be about the game. It's about how wonderful they are and how good-looking they are. And I just thought, like, I don't want to watch your content, mate.
Yeah.
That's exactly how I feel.
I will go back to the thing of us, everybody in the group sort of going, I'm crap, no, I'm crap, I'm crap. I think maybe I should say when, we all hit it big time, hopefully all of us hit the high numbers one day.
Oh, we will. It's not yet. It's win at this point. It's just win.
I'm trying to avoid being big-headed. That's my point. That we won't.
Okay, so I don't look at it as being big-headed. I look at it as being confident. Will we be millionaires? I have no idea. Will we
No.
be successful on our platform? Depends on what you define as success. Will we be successful? Yes. But again, what is your definition of successful on this platform?
I was
What is your
just gonna
definition of successful on Twitch?
now change the subject almost completely. You just opened up a question in my head. I have a goal that is not a subscriber goal. It's not a view count. It's not how much YouTube pays me goal. It's a goal that I don't want to say it because it will ruin it. It's a goal that I have set. That I set from day one, that when this said thing happens, I will then call that the day that I made it on YouTube. Do you guys have anything like that? I can't actually say what it is, as it will ruin the whole thing. But I will DM it to you later so you know what it is. Like a goal that you have, at which point you go, that was the day I made it. Or that was the turning point where I thought, this is going to work.
Well, for me, what I wanted to get out of YouTube, my attitude approaching YouTube was very much, it was for me. It was, I wanted to make it because it's something I wanted to do, and it was a hobby.
Mm-hmm.
If anyone else enjoyed it, that was always a bonus. It's like if you work in a firm and you get an annual bonus, it's a bad attitude to go into it expecting something when it's something on top. So that basically, you don't go into it and say, I expect X amount of money, and then you don't get that, and then you're disappointed. But I was like, they don't have to give you anything. So the attitude that I've had was, what I wanted out of my YouTube was, just almost like a cult following. It doesn't have to be massive, but it's the same people asking questions. And I mean, on my YouTube, I always try and invoke a conversation in the comment section.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been able to achieve that. There's certain people who've literally found me, and we end up having conversations about games in the comment section. I mean, you think the YouTube comment section isn't exactly conducive to social media. It's not. Mm-hmm. But I still use it that way because I am interested in other people's opinions. Certainly, that's why with the whole retro game angle, there's people who will basically have memories evoked by seeing what I brought to it, and that's why. I mean, I don't go for the blockbuster titles. I get made fun of regularly because I've never really played a Mario game. I call myself a retro game, but I've never played Super Mario Brothers.
I think they're always.
Sorry, mate.
That's right. I was going to say there's always going to be a game you haven't played. You won't be able to play everything.
Oh, of course. I mean, because growing up with Sega, not Nintendo, I mean, the whole Mario, Zelda, Star Fox, I never played them. I think I had Donkey Kong and the Game Boy, but, and I've got it on the SNES now, but as a child growing up, there's no nostalgia for me from Donkey Kong because I didn't have it. My nostalgia was the Sega classics, which was Streets of Rage, Golden Axe, Altered Beast. You guys know me, I'm a massive Street Fighter fan. And I love beat-em-ups, so Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, and then when PlayStation came along, Tekken came into it.
Even going into that, though, like, that's what people know you for now, too. You've been doing this for, 6 months or whatever, just over. And so people know that that's what you do. And you can look at your channel and you can see, and it reflects that people come back to you because that's what you're known for. Beat-em-ups, retro games, bring back memories of their childhood that maybe they can't relive now because they don't have access to those games or the console, or they don't know how to do emulators if they want to do something like that. That's why they come back to you specifically.
Thinking about it, you're in quite a good position at the moment because going back to the consoles, that they're going to start doing retro games. It might get people looking for other people playing it, which you already are. So you're almost sort of ahead of the curve, as it were.
It's because I don't want to spend money on stuff which is coming out. It's actually more because I'm more. I don't know. It was a time of my life which I found, I had a great childhood. There's lots of people who will come and sob story. Oh, my childhood was terrible. I cannot say that. And one of the facets of the happy upbringing that I had was gaming. I mean, we've all had that thing when you have. PlayStation, I think, was the first real console to have a memory card so you could save your games sort of system. I know PC had it the whole time. The amount of times I'd, almost ascend to a part of a level I'd never got to before, but then I've got to go somewhere and my dad would come in and turn the console off. And to this day, as a 37-year-old man, I still have not managed to reach, for example, it was I can't remember what game it was. I think it was one of the Disney games. And we all know
Lion King.
it wasn't Lion King. No, I've never got past the second level of Lion King.
Was it Mickey
to
Mouse's
this day.
Adventures or something?
It was either Land or World of Illusion with Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck.
Yeah,
And I'd never got that far. And I'm thinking, this is what with games. I don't seem to have this with games anymore. That when you reach a point which you've never got to before, you genuinely feel excited. You can generally, that sense of excitement. I mean, I get that now before I broadcast on Twitch. It's a mixture of fear and excitement, but the excitement of you can hear your heartbeat outside your chest, like when you're about to get exam results, or when you do your driving test, you're about to find out whether they're going to say, you can drive. There's that fear and excitement at the same time, and I get that with the old games. Whereas, if I play Grand Theft Auto 5 now, or Fallout, or I don't genuinely feel excited that I've achieved something because I've got a previous save. I don't have that peril that I could lose it all.
That's a fair point. I mean, I would say that I'm the same with GTA and Fallout. I jump in, start playing it, and then an hour later I'm like, I'm done. There's nothing... I know there's tons in the game to do, but I have no want to go and do it. I don't know if that's just because I'm bad at the games or what, because I happily watch someone else go and do it, but I won't do it myself. It seems stupid. Cam in the chat says, that Lion King game. Was the Lion King game bad? I don't know this one.
No, so
it was hard.
It's very, very hard. The first level's fine, but like level 2, the jump box, the jump box for that game was so awful. And it is regarded as one of the hardest games on that platform.
So what would you say is a hard modern game? Now, I hear Dark Souls is really hard. I've not played it. I plan on playing it at some point.
Bloodborne is really hard, Cam. No, I'm kidding.
Don't start, please. Please don't start with that.
Okay. But Bloodborne's PlayStation, isn't it? Exclusive.
Yeah.
Well, that one's out of it.
Look, I've watched quite a few of my friends play Bloodborne and do streams on Bloodborne. Bloodborne it's not hard, it's challenging because it's a patient thing. If you run into it, Dynasty Warrior style, smashing the button, bash, 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 you're going to die. And the fact of the matter is that under no illusion, the Dark Souls, the Bloodborne games, Demon Souls, you are going to die a lot. If you think you can complete the game without getting hit, then you're in cloud cookie land, my friend. Seriously. So Bloodborne, I don't think is as hard as Dark Souls, but it's a patient approach is required, I think.
Cameron Welsh, you both say Bloodborne. So, but unfortunately, it's not on PC, so I can't play it.
Yeah.
I mean,
she said nobody say Bloodborne, and then I said Bloodborne.
Look, Wolf, for example, going back to I think it's a current series of yours, which is Dishonored.
Yes.
Dishonored, depending on how you play it, Dishonored can be a difficult game or a fun game. Now, it's fun if you want to just murder everyone. If you want to do the non-chaos route, which is basically non-lethal kills, no one finds any of the bodies, that, by definition, is difficult because you've got to put a lot more work in. Yes, you could run in and just create a bloodbath. Anybody could do that. It's like a fine art to actually do the shadow work properly. I mean, there's a YouTuber I watch called Ellipse Gamer. He's done a series. I think I tagged you in when you first did Dishonored, because I saw him play through it. Now he played it on the hardest difficulty with non-lethal, and that for me was an absolute masterclass. Sure, I've blazed through that game. There was a lot of death. I was very chaotic with my playthrough of it. And then I see someone else play it different way. This goes back to me watching a playthrough of a series which I played through myself, but I'm interested to see how other people do it. And the way Ellipse did it, he was like a professional assassin, and it was actually quite inspiring. You see what I mean?
To bring up a kind of weird point that Cam brought up in the chat, she says,
I was just going to bring that up.
I don't know if you guys feel this, but I think I'm good at certain games, but on stream I suck. 100% Cam, it's solely, it's not that you suck at the game. It is solely based on when you're playing by yourself, right? You're only focused on the game, whereas you're streaming, you're focused on, is my camera correct? Is my audio correct? you're focused on paying attention to the chat. So you're doing so many other things that you don't focus solely on the game. So while you might be a great, like Sin, you're great at Street Fighter, right? But when you're streaming, now you're worried about do I suck? Am I not as good as I think I am? Oh, they said this in chat. Let me keep up with chat. Is my camera working? Is my audio correct? Like, can you guys hear me? Like, there's so many things that you're worried about outside of the game that you don't focus solely on the game, which is by and large why I think streaming is harder than people realize.
Yeah,
by a long way.
I mean, going back, mentioning that, I mean, like Street Fighter for me, for example, the reason I selected that as a game I wanted to stream is for me, there's a degree of muscle memory.
Yeah,
it's the same as way you get like a concert pianist. Now I always find this incredible with concert pianists that they will go up and play like for example all 3 movements of Beethoven's Moonlight Sonata, and they don't even have any sheet music in front of them. They have played it so much they're literally just going through sheer muscle memory. They just they press play and their fingers do the work because they've put in so much hard graft to get to that stage that they can literally go up and perform flawlessly.
Well, it's just like why I chose to play FNAF, like because I know it so well. I can literally, especially like FNAF 4 where it's only audio cues, I can literally just look at chat and play the game because I know all the audio cues at this point.
Good God.
I might die a lot. Don't get me wrong. I might die a lot, but at the same time, it's I can pay attention to chat more often than play the game because I know each cue that's coming up.
So this is going a bit deeper than I'd expect us to go in a conversation, but I'm going to bring it up anyway.
Go for it.
The whole thing of like multitasking and stuff is. I remember looking into this, and because I remember the job I have things where I'm standing there doing nothing for like 90 minutes, so I have time to stand and think. And I was thinking the other day, is there a way, like everyone watching this and in the chat and you two guys chatting to me, in your head you're thinking right now in your own voice, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And that's one voice in your head. Is it possible to think about 2 things at the same time? Like physically? Not like you keep jumping. Yeah, you can't. I looked into it. You can't. So multitasking is one of the...
wild Ash has appeared.
Hey, Ash.
I'd like to weigh in this conversation.
Hello, Ash. Now this is unusual because I believe, Ash, this is the first time I've ever spoken to you on voice at least.
Exactly, yes.
Yes.
It's very nice to finally hear your wonderful voice, Wolf.
Yes, and yours.
Hearts in the chat.
I don't know if you can do that on YouTube.
No,
I guarantee.
you can't.
No, I got you right here.
Can you?
Welsh, you'll find a way. I'm telling you now, Welsh, you'll find a way.
Welsh, help
right
us.
Now. I'm kicking off hearts in the chat. Bam, there you go. Go ahead, hearts in the chat.
Oh, wow, Michael. What is
Goodness
this?
sake.
Oh, they took ages to load for me. I may have just broken the stream.
Oh, no, the chat's been... There we go, see? The chat's behind for me for some reason. But...
Same.
But it's just because I have it pulled up on mobile. I'm
not touching anything because my computer just ramped up and I'm leaving it alone.
Well, I said, gentlemen, I'm going to have to love you and leave you.
That's fine, not to worry.
I'm just going to drop out now. Thank you for having me.
No worries.
Right, brother.
Go and subscribe to Sin's channel. The link will be in the description at some point.
Thank you very much.
Not to worry.
Have a good evening. I'll speak to you all later.
Speak to you later.
Hey, buddy.
Enjoy, man.
So how are you, Ash, as the new gentleman in the chat?
Well, I feel very, very special to be here. I just jumped in, technically, because when you did speak about multitasking, there was something that I wanted to actually say about that whole thing there.
Okay.
Well, you said that would it be possible to essentially change your focus onto other things? Well, you're an engineer, correct?
Yes.
There are ways to simulate it and emulate it if you were to use your normal brain for that one. And I actually have a rather... I'm not perfect at it, and I can do at most 2 or 3 things. But, for example, as you guys know, I was a teacher for a while, and I had to use that there, where I had to speak and focus on my presence in the classroom as well as where to focus on next. And the way that I do that is the very same way that a computer works, essentially. short bursts of attention at one specific interval. So let's say I have to talk. I quickly take my brain to that area, I focus on that, and then drag things out while I'm busy thinking about something else and working on something else. So I don't think it's possible to have a split, like two people thinking at the same time. But I do think it's possible to emulate it.
Yes. The point I was trying to get to, and I can, again, a citation potentially needed, is that you can do what you said, but the two tasks you are doing, you'll do less correct than if you concentrated on one at a time. Thus, people are tricked into thinking they can multitask, when in actual fact, the reason they think they can multitask is because the two tasks they're doing, they think they are doing great, when in actual fact they are not, because they are concentrating on two tasks, if that makes sense. So
That
it's
isn't a way to think about it.
So it's like an optical illusion, but a psychological optical illusion. This chat has got very, very deep, but I love it. It's the whole point of this chat, is to go from gaming to something like this. Yeah. But muscle memory is another thing where I think it's more a case of your subconscious doing things.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, bringing it back to streaming, it's like when you have played a game before, you know the controls, and so you can focus less on playing the game and more on reading your chat, or making sure everything's running smoothly for yourself or for the stream, for the viewer, or whatever. So that's why I always tell people, when you're streaming, stream what you know first, then stream stuff that you don't, because stream what you know, you're able to focus on other things more than the game.
Yeah.
The game will attract the viewer will stay because of you, kind of thing. So
yeah, I find with like the recent games I'm playing recently are games that I love and I've played before, and I find it more relaxing and I'm enjoying it more, which I hope comes across in the videos. But I know if I go and jump into a game blind, I really struggle to control the game, as it were, and produce content. So yeah. I think, literally thinking about it now, in hindsight, it might make sense to go and play a game for about an hour, then restart the game and play it live.
Well, so then you fall into the factor of, if something big happens in the beginning of the game, now you don't have a genuine reaction to that game.
Yeah, that is a trick. What happened to demos of games?
That's where I have to agree with Chris here, because it's just, in my case, I can't say much for streaming, but what I can say is, at least for YouTube, I love the essential unfiltered reactions that people can give. For example, I'm not sure if you guys have seen this before, but for example, Crank Gameplays and Markiplier.
Yes.
One of their best videos for me was the unfiltered, I got my wisdom teeth removed.
I haven't seen it, but it's on my list to watch, because I keep seeing it on Twitter and stuff. So
yeah.
And that's what I like. The thing about why I like YouTube, at least, and what I want to bring across in my channel, is I want that unfiltered reaction. And I want people to be able to... I often bring this when I promote my channel, when I do it to other people or whatnot. I want to make things that people hate fun, in such a way that they might enjoy it as well. And that's what I try and do, at least with my reactions as well. And the best way that I've seen that happen is with being entirely unfiltered. I do agree with Chris that for streaming, where you especially have to multitask, it might be good to play a game, for example, that you haven't played in a while, but you still know very well. Because you can still get that kind of unfiltered reaction. But something that you played a day ago and you want to play again, I think, at least in my opinion, will be too unfiltered for me to be able to do a good job with.
Well, a good example of that is like a game like Skyrim, like, because a lot of us have streamed it or plan on streaming it, whereas I was streaming it before, and it's a game that I know, but I don't know everything about the game, right? So I can go in and be like, all right, so I've done this quest before, I know where I'm going, I know what I'm doing, but then there's so many quest lines that I could go do, say, the companions, and I've never done them before, but I know the game enough, I know the controls, I know like what works, what doesn't work, kind of thing, and so I can go do that quest, and it's still blind to me, but I still know what I'm doing, kind of thing. And I think that goes back to what you're saying is like you kind of want to know what you're doing, but at the same time you want to have a genuine reaction to something that you don't know.
Yeah. Just to clarify, there's going to be about 9 to 10 more minutes of this, and then I'm going to call it a day because I think 2 hours is a good time for a stream. It's been wonders.
Average.
I know you just joined us, Ash, but unfortunately, I think I'm going to have to draw the line somewhere. Unfortunately, plus I believe, and chat can correct me, Alex is streaming next.
Well, I thought she was going to be live already, but I haven't. I just checked Twitch, and she's not live right now.
I daren't load up Twitch in case it kills my computer, so I'm not going to touch it. But if someone can chat, let me know. I will direct people from here.
I'm literally going to.
Oh, thank you. Yes, sorry.
Yeah, she's not live right now. She normally goes live at 2:30 my time, which was 30 minutes ago almost, and she's not live. So I didn't think she was going live today because she's working. I have no idea.
Yes.
And
but I thoroughly enjoyed this. I was worried this was just going to be me chatting, but thankfully you chaps and people in the chat come in, and it worked out a lot better than I hoped. So I'm very happy with this.
It's open to anybody. If anybody needs me to help them out with whatever, I literally do nothing all day long. So just speak up and be like, hey, there might be a time where I'm recording or editing or whatever, but if it's not like something I need immediately, it's easy just to put it down and come back to it later. Because you guys are the most important thing in my life right now anyway, so it's like like I don't we're all doing content creation, YouTube, Twitch, whatever, but like not to get too sappy, but I couldn't have done this where I'm at right now without the people in the EQB, you know what I mean? So like the amount of support that everybody shows, it makes you want to continue going. Whereas I'm sure we would have viewers and stuff and whatever, but look at the streamers. Every single streamer that we have in our group became affiliated by their 7th stream.
Yes.
And that is unheard of.
I feel like I really want this. This is all again. It's all going back to me, and I don't want that to be the thing. But I might make this a regular thing, the coffee shop thing, because I want to give. Going back to the roots for a second, YouTube helped me through some, for lack of a better word, some shit parts of my life before I started YouTube. Same. It's one of the reasons I'm doing YouTube is I want to give back as much as possible, because let's be honest with you, I wouldn't be sitting in this chair right now. I would be 6 feet underground. Yeah. Not going to lie about it. That's where I would be.
Well, we're very glad to have you here, Wolf. Definitely.
Absolutely.
But yeah, anybody watching this post live, let us know in the comments what you hated, what you loved, who I'm meant to ban from the chat for next time. Chris for swearing.
I had one swear word, okay?
If we can have one swear word per times I do this, I will be very happy. Because you can have that in a sitcom, can't you? You can have one swear word per season or something.
It's funny because when I started my YouTube channel and even Twitch, I was like, I'm not going to swear. Or if I do, it's going to be something subtle, right? Well, then I streamed with Tina, and that all went out the window. She's not here to defend herself, but
Thank you, Cam. I've got lots of ideas of things for us to do. I want to do it like a stupidly posh stream, where I'm in a top hat and monocle, like full Monty sort of, and then do the whole other end of the stream, sort of do everything. So yes, I've got a lot of ideas, and I'm sure everybody has got a lot of ideas.
You dress up as posh. I dress up like a bum.
Oh yeah, so we could have like the upper class, lower class, and butler and. Sebastian, where's my tea? I need my tea now. Suddenly, we'll just
let me go get it for you.
Oh dear.
Yes, master.
Oh, you got the hump. Was it a hunchback? Yes.
Yes, master.
We should do one.
Yes, master.
See, I don't know if Tina may see. There's more than one Irish person in our chat, in our group, isn't there?
It's just Tina.
I thought there's... Okay, I stand corrected. Yes, I can...
Welsh is Wales.
Welsh is Welsh.
And everybody else is UK, except Ash and myself, Alex, and Headshots.
See, I can do an Irish accent that's terrible, but I'm terribly worried about insulting Tina. It's the last thing I want to do.
Harry insults Tina all the time. Just go ahead.
Okay, I'm not going to do it now. I will save that for another time. And I think I can do a crappy German accent as well, but it takes a lot of brain power.
Feel free to do that. I've been practicing mine for years, so hopefully we can have 2 bad accents then.
Well, we'll have to just do a coffee shop with bad accents one day. I don't know if I could do it for 2 hours, but we'll have to have a go at it one day, I think.
I think that's going to be a great one.
Yes. Hans, where's my tea, Hans? Yeah, I need more German names. I can't remember any more German names. Now this is going to get this YouTube video is going to get. I can't think for this accent. It's really, really hard, you know. It goes a bit camp as well for some reason. I don't know why. Well, I apologise to everybody on the planet Earth. If you're on the moon right now, why are you on the moon? I do not know. Could you bring back some? Yes. Why is your internet so good? And could you bring back some helium-3? We could do with that right now. That's a reference. That is a reference no one is going to get.
Well, I don't think so.
Helium-3 from the moon?
Yeah, but I'm thinking this is a Portal reference, isn't it?
No. I know where you're going though. That does work as well. The Portal reference, because the dust from the moon is used to make the Portal paint, isn't it?
Yeah, and that's also helium-3, I believe.
Yeah, there's helium-3 on the moon that's from the sun. Again, citation needed.
Then I might have gone that direction.
Because helium-3 is really useful.
Oh yeah, for rocket fuel and all that stuff.
Yes. Are you an engineer, Ash?
I have vast collection of knowledge on spotty topics.
That makes
the rest of us.
I was just going to say, I have one subject I'm okay at engineering. The rest is cobbled together.
Yeah. Yeah. So most of my things are. I'm interested in this. I've got an hour or 2. Let's read up on it. So yeah.
Well, I can't read, but I can watch videos. But yes, I now need to cobble together an end stream, and I've realised I have not made an end screen card because I am that professional. So I'm going to use the stream starting screen because the stream is ending. But thank you everybody for joining us. I should be calling it here. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining us.
Thank you, Wolf, for inviting us on. Yeah,
it's been an absolute blast.
Thank you very much.
I will definitely be.
Just my first and my last time on here after dropping the F-bomb.
You have to change your name. And then you can come back on again and drop another F-bomb. Oh, dear.
This time I'll drop a S-bomb or a B-bomb. We got it.
Oh dear. Whatever next. Anyway, I am going to leave this phone call so I can finish the stream. But thank you very much, chaps. I shall speak to you soon.
Brother. Take it easy, my friend.
Go and subscribe to their channels. But yes, thank you everybody for joining us in the chat. Very good fun. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully this video doesn't get demonetized. I don't even get paid. Doesn't get flagged for anything that we said today. And I will now cobble together an end stream of some sort, which I should have planned better. And thank you very much for joining us. I shall see you all next time.
It uploaded fine. Oh no, thank you.
Pleasure, man.
Thank you, man.
Thank you very much for having me on, even though I came very, very late. No, I'm honored just to be on. I actually kind of feel bad because I feel like I kicked Sin off, so yeah.
Yeah. I was just asking Ash this, Wolf. Have you ever had where you uploaded a video to YouTube and the video uploads all the way, however, it shows processing and right now it's stuck on 50%. This is the third time I've tried to upload it, and it says video cannot be processed by the end of it. So I was just like, is there any troubleshooting? Well, so like I uploaded 2 more videos literally right after, and they went through fine. But that's what I'm doing right now, is re-rendering the one. But the other 2 videos uploaded fine. They rendered fine, they processed fine, and they're up on my channel. But this one, and it's episode 1, so it's like, oh my god, come on.
But before you do that one, in my case, try a different browser. For example, in my case, I've got 2 browsers I upload on. I use Chrome and Chromium.
Hey Wolf, you should end your stream, by the way. Yeah, send a message to me saying that you can still hear us. Well, hello, everybody. I'm glad I didn't talk crap. I'm glad I didn't talk crap about everybody. But our stuff. Yeah.
Oh, I am so sorry. I muted myself, but not you guys. Oh, I am terribly sorry, everybody. I am terribly sorry.
Look, I was just talking about video processing, so.
I am so sorry.